What's up, Internet World? We're the News 19 Nerds. I'm Leroy.
I'm the Red Guardian.
About the same size. Mine should be taller.
I wanted you to say you're getting fat.
Nah. I
would have accepted it. I'd have been like, yes, I'm setting you up for that.
Nah. And you ain't got no beard.
I got it something.
I don't know what that is.
I got it something.
It ain't that.
No, I'm Michael. We're the nerds. We're here for the second trailer for Black Widow. It kind of Disney, man. They just rule the world, and they're smart. Everybody's got their eyes on the championship game. Hey, why don't we drop this Marvel trailer on you?
Pretty much.
And I don't. Did you know it was coming out? Because you keep up with stuff like you knew it was coming. Okay, I didn't.
Because for the entire week leading up to the championship game, go Clemson. Yeah, we lost.
I'll be back next year.
I mean, yeah.
But yo, LSU's really good.
Oh, dude, they
like wow.
Like LSU, pound for pound, and not to get off topic. My team must have forgot he won the Heisman, cause they just they were covering everybody else and would leave this highway open for him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's gonna run 10 yards, right?
Yeah.
And sure enough, he did.
He does just enough, and then he can burn you too.
Hats off to the LSU Tigers. You guys deserved it. LSU, you now have a contender. I'm happy for you guys. Good game.
Cool. Yeah.
Nothing else to say about it. But yeah.
Black Widow.
If you had been watching some of the football games and the playoff games leading up to it, they said in the championship game, especially on ABC, they had been really pumping this up.
Okay.
That there was going to be a special look.
Okay.
At least for, I want to say, a good week and a half to maybe 2 weeks. They had been talking about a special look, which to me said there was going to be a trailer.
Okay.
I figured there was going to be a special look where they did the whole Scarlett Johansson talks about what it's like to be cast as a black woman, a tree, and how she was nominated for Marriage Story, and how, she can basically do anything and everything.
Hey. I think Scarlett Johansson is a good actress. I also think sometimes she says some stuff that's wild. But
some stuff?
And does some stuff, but
Sir,
I do think she's a good actress.
She was a Japanese woman in Ghost in the Shell and defended it.
I don't have a retort. I'm not saying she was good in that, but she's been good in other movies. I do think she's a good actress.
I'm not saying she's not. I'm just saying I was really expecting her to be up there exactly as she was. Yes, this character is a very well done character, and I'm glad that I got to play it. But there was this time that I wanted to play a transgender character, and I don't know why people got upset. It was like...
I mean... But that's whatever. Beside all that, let's get back to she's going to be Natasha Romanoff. So we're going to get her story.
She's coming back.
Yeah.
They said that this movie lines up along with the other movies. If you check the timeline, I called it when I posted it on our Facebook page. I called it Widows on Widows, because
it's a bunch of Black Widows.
It's a bunch of Black Widows.
Yeah. And we talk about, but I just realized this movie now has, at least in main roles, 3 women who are either Oscar winners or Oscar nominated, which is pretty cool. Florence Pugh, Natasha, Scarlett Johansson, and Rachel Weisz. Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
I was excited to see the 2 people I was excited to see outside of because honestly, and I know this is probably some people are going to be like, I really wasn't as excited to see Black Widow, so to speak, as excited as I was to see Yelena, who is Florence Pugh's character, and whoever Rachel Weisz is playing. Mm-hmm. Because for the longest, those 2 women have been relegated to, I'm going to say this, don't get mad, women-y parts. They have been the girlfriend in movies, or you're
talking about the actresses.
The actresses, they fight, you get to see them in fighting, kick-ass roles.
Florence Pugh did do Fighting with My Family.
She did, and honestly, for the longest, I did not realize that was Florence Pugh.
She did a good job.
It was almost like you would hear Florence Pugh, and you're like, "That's not her. That's not the lady who killed a baby in The Witch."
Yeah.
It's but it was really good to see her because to me, her range is so well. Because when I first saw her on screen, and again, it goes back to our other video we talk about when you hear somebody's accent, you're like, "Wait a minute, you're not."
Yeah.
When I first saw her, I was like, oh, she's probably from California. She went to this nice high school and then, acting classes. And when she talked, I was like, whoa, you're not who I thought you were.
Yeah.
And I saw her in Midsummer. You saw her in The Witch. You see her in all these different movies. You're like, oh, you're damn good. And so to see her in an action movie was exciting. To see Rachel Weisz, who I have loved since forever.
I really like the first time I remember Rachel Weisz was Enemy at the Gates.
Yep.
She might have been something before that, but that's when not the first time I was like, I like her. She was in the third Mummy movie, replacing Maria Bello. No, sorry, she was in the first and second movies, and Maria Bello replacing the third movie. I like her in the Mummy movies.
So that's what. So like that. That's why I said it's great to see them not as just the girlfriend. It was.
Yeah.
And I personally loved her in The Fountain. The Fountain is one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. It is a very romantic film, deep, cerebral. I've seen that movie probably over 20 times. But just the way Darren Aronofsky cast that in that movie, and her, to me, she was integral to that movie. But I was happy. Brothers Bloom is another great one. I love that movie, but to see her in a more of an action role is exciting, because here is an Oscar-winning actress. I believe she Rachel Weisz has won, right?
She did win.
She did
Then
win.
the other two are nominated.
Yeah. To see Rachel Weisz and like to see these women who you know have range, to see them be able to use it in an action movie, to me not only is great, but gives credence to these movies when the genre and the culture has fought so hard against, these are not cinema. And it's like, well, you got 3 Oscar-nominated actresses, so
Yeah.
Kid
And
Rock's old man.
I don't know what awards David Harbour has won, but I like him too as an actor.
Oh, David
So, yeah.
Harbour is amazing. And
Yeah.
it's good to see him finally get out of that old, henchman role. Because he always, for the longest, for a good 10, 15 years.
He was in the first Equalizer, right, as a bad guy.
Yep.
That Denzel Washington kind of used. Yeah.
Up until like Stranger Things, he was always like the bad guy or a henchman. If you go back and watch the James Bond movies, he was with Jeffrey Wright. Remember, he was a CIA agent.
Right,
he was
right.
the
Yeah.
dirty one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So he's always plays like the bad cop and you're like, I know he's got more range. And it wasn't until Stranger Things people were like, David Harbour's good. And everybody else was like, we know he's good.
Yeah.
Finally.
He's been good forever.
Yeah. Shame on you, Hollywood. Like, stop pigeonholing people in certain roles. Like, David, I will go on a limb and say, Hellboy is not a great movie. I saw what they tried to do, but David Harbour was good in that movie.
Yeah.
David Harbour was really good
Yeah.
in Hellboy. It really was. So I'm really excited for this movie.
All right. You ready?
Yep.
Natasha, my sister. After all this time, what brings you home?
I'm on the run. I was trying to do something good. Be more than just a trained killer.
You're fooling yourself. We're still both trained killers.
We have unfinished business.
Who's we?
Still fits, hmm? Family. Back together again.
You got fat.
Smelling water wet.
There's a new world of widows. New enemies. I'm done running from my past. Who the hell is that guy?
Finally.
I like this one more than the first trailer.
Oh yeah, the first trailer was garbage.
And it's weird to me because I don't know exactly how to word it, but I feel like there was more fight choreography in the first trailer, and I was not worried, but the way they were showing it, it was quick clips and quick cuts, which is kind of how most Marvel movies are with their action. They don't do long takes, which I wish more movies would do, like a Ung Bak or whatever, like a martial arts movie. I'm hoping that it's not that way the entire time, and we have more long cuts for the action. But this one, because I guess the first one was a teaser. This is kind of where we're getting more of the story. The Black Widow program's still going. They got all kinds of Black Widows now doing whatever.
Murder ballerinas.
Yeah, murder ballerinas.
Because that's what
That's what they are.
For some reason, they thought little Russian girls were being raised to be murder ballerinas out there behind under the Soviet Union, and they were going to proliferate into the rest of the world and be cute and have knives and guns, and then.
But I wonder. It almost feels like, because we saw that one black girl. Not saying that there aren't black people who are Russian, but I almost wonder.
Valiant Comics has a Russian black astronaut. Boom.
There you go. So I almost wonder if they've expanded now and they're grabbing more people who aren't just Russian. If they're grabbing little girls worldwide.
If you think about it, so one of the things a spy program must be able to do is integrate itself into wherever you're going to be. So if you're going to have spies, you can't just have all white people because the whole world isn't white.
Right.
So you got to have people of different complexions, backgrounds. It's like if we're going to go, let's take for example, I don't know, if we go to invade the Middle East, you might want to have people from a Middle Eastern background to inform you about the region you're going to invade. I don't know, just throwing it out there. Maybe something you should think about.
Sir, this ain't that show.
I'm just saying.
This ain't that show. We talking about Black Widow.
I'm just saying,
sir.
It looks like Russia kind of has the leg up to getting little black girls to be spies and assassins. I'm just saying.
You done? Maybe for now.
I mean,
it might come back up. Okay, it might come back up.
It's
We'll
a
see, folks.
possibility.
It's a possibility.
But one of the things I think, going back to what you said, the first trailer was more of a reintroduction to the characters to some people, because for those of us who are here talking about this video, watching this video, commenting that we're stupid or whatever you have to say, we are immersed in the character and the culture. The first trailer was a reintroduction to those people, like your mom, who may not watch every movie and own them. Or my dad, who's like, I take him, he's like, so who was that again? That was that reintroduction. It's like, oh, remember that white redheaded woman who was kicking ass, taking names, and was petting the Hulk? Yeah, she's back.
She's back.
And, oh yeah, she died, but this is not that movie.
Yeah.
So that's what that movie was. This one was more or less like, oh, Black Widow's here. She's coming to kick butt and take names, and she's got sisters. And there's a fat Russian guy that's Harbour from Stranger Things. He's not dead. He's been in Russia the whole time.
The three women that we saw, Natasha,
Yelena,
whoever Rachel Weisz is.
I do not remember her name off the top of my head.
They, at some point throughout this trailer, they each both had a black costume and a white costume. Do you know why?
I do. I
Is
don't
it
remember. It's
okay,
up here.
okay,
So Yelena gets introduced in what's called the Marvel Knights, which was a Joe Quesada had taken and reworked some Marvel characters. A lot of them were like the street level heroes. So your Punisher, your Daredevil, your Black Widow. He took a lot of those characters and they reworked them and they added some different things. One of the cool things that actually came out of that was Yelena. I can't remember what her last name is, but I know
It starts with a B.
We'll go with that.
We have a computer here.
So
We do this every time.
she's the one you saw, who was Florence Pugh, my new favorite ingenue, who I love.
Okay.
Good Lord, she was great in Midsummer. So there's a reason for that. Okay. And if you remember, and it's funny because, so go online, there's a little internet beef between the new director of Metal Gear Solid, who is upset that Black Widow is using the white suit because
it looks like Big Boss.
Because he
Metal Gear
feels like
Solid.
Big Boss and Hideo Kojima had it first.
I was like,
and then people are going back and like with receipts fighting with him.
Yelena Belova.
Yeah, okay.
There we go.
So people are fighting with him and like, well, the book came out before the game and all this other stuff, and then they're like, well, Kojima like stole this, and they're like, the whole
everybody steals from everybody.
Like,
what are we doing?
It's like, dude, like really, like your movie ain't even out. Why are you gonna fight with like the largest franchise?
And I guess like the part that sucks is they took what I was gonna do, maybe, which kind of sucks.
I don't know, but the whole idea of her doing the superhero thing in the white suit was something. If you played Snake Eater, you saw it.
Yeah.
And she did the same thing.
I want to see some CQC, close quarters combat.
I don't know. honestly, I don't care, but I can see where the fight starts. I don't remember exactly what and how, but I'm quite sure you nerds will figure it out. I'm just happy to see
Melina Vostokov
Yeah.
is what IMDb is
I
saying.
do not remember her. It's a lot. There's a lot of backstory that they could use. I'm just happy to see how this movie falls into place in the MCU and where they go forward, because everything the MCU does is forward moving.
Yeah.
So if they're looking back for a reason.
For sure.
But my
For sure.
favorite thing in this trailer, I'm now watching it.
Taskmaster?
Yes. Finally.
Yeah.
Because the biggest problem that they have, MCU has, is they kill a character, a great character, and they don't bring him back, or they... Taskmaster is one of the best characters. I have him... Oh, he's not here. I should have brought him, but I have his Funko Pop.
Okay.
And again, the nerds were upset. Oh, he doesn't look like... Shut up. He's not going to look exactly like he does.
Yeah,
And
sometimes you got to make concessions for stuff looking in the real world. I don't know if you can walk around with the cape.
Not only
Because at
cape.
some point it's like...
Did you see have you seen the boots? Have you seen his whole outfit?
Oh, yeah, the big... Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like...
Dude,
Because for you to be a spy or mercenary, you kind of stick out. And I
Like-
don't know if that's going to work.
not only that, I don't think that suit's functional, man.
Yeah.
Like
It's like Batman with the cow and he can't move or whatever, yeah.
Like he literally he has a skull face, he has a cow, he has a cape, he has like a buccaneer sword from Captain Jack, he has boots. So Taskmaster is one of the greatest villains, because his superpower is photographic fight memory. Anything you do, I can do better.
Yep.
And to fight someone who you cannot anticipate, because he can duplicate. So anybody he fights, he can duplicate. That's dangerous, because all he does is fight.
Yeah.
And he doesn't just fight you, he can bring in anything else that he's learned. So here's a guy who has fought Captain America to a standstill, who's fought real fighters. And then Natasha Romanoff is like, oh, who and what are you and why are you here?
And one thing that we've said this entire time when we talked about Taskmaster, and she said, he. Do we think that is a red herring and maybe it's a female Taskmaster?
So
That's what the rumor is, and that would be interesting if maybe if it's Rachel Weisz
reports, there are rumors that it could be a woman. There are rumors that it could also be Clinton.
Oh.
So I'm not going to say who it is.
Or, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I honestly hope in my heart of hearts it is a brand new character who we have never seen, who we get to see, who shows up later on in other movies, who is a thorn in their side, who, when the big bad shows up and it's like, yeah, and I'm assembling a group, and Taskmaster, you're like, oh, things just got real.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the bad things that we all said about the Infinity War and Endgame, and that the Black Guard showed up just to be cannon fodder.
Pretty much.
The Black Order. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Black Order. I said order. Because they be...
Yes.
Excuse
Just
me.
listen for a second more, you'll hear it.
But yeah, it's one of those things where I hope this movie's good. It has been compared to Winter Soldier, one of my favorite MCU movies.
If they can, that's a big honor for
If
me.
you can do 70%,
Right. Because Winter Soldier is definitely my number one. Still my number one.
It still is, like, Winter Soldier is like top 5 for me.
Yeah.
So if you can bring that level, but my question is, and every movie has something that's topical. What is it? How are you going topical with this when you're going back to the past? Like, what is the whole idea? I'm not smart enough to break this down. However, there are people who have gone back and said that a lot of Marvel movies are holding up the establishment and like had an idea where they showed like a weapons maker, an arms dealer having a heart, and then that whole idea of him having that idea of being a weapons maker, being a futurist, but also finding his humanity. How do you reconcile those two things? If you're going back in time, how do you comment on the state of the world during that time period, but still make it topical? that's what I'm interested to see.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how they go forward with that. You bring in William Hurt back. Ray Winstone is rumored to be in here. I love Ray Winstone. There's a lot of great people in this movie that I hope are given a good opportunity to flex their muscles. Ray Winstone is underrated.
Yeah.
Go watch Sexy Beast.
Go watch it.
Go watch it.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Great movie.
Not for kids.
Probably should have said that first. Don't watch it if you're a kid. Everybody else can go watch it. That's our disclaimer from the News 19 Nerds 2020.
Wait till you're not a kid and then watch it.
Yeah, all right, cool. Come back to this video in however many years that takes. Find us here on YouTube. Find us also on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, WOTX.com. Thank you to everybody who has liked and commented and subscribed to our videos. We ask that you keep doing that and spreading the love and the positivity that you give us. You're helping our channel grow. We really appreciate it. And we're out.
Or be sucked.